fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for granted and you know I'm leaving. I'ma take what's mine with the webs I'm weaving. I could take this crowd from seeing to believing. Got a taste for blood and my tongue keeps bleeding. From the words I spit, so sharp, so freezing. So cold, behold, frostbite they feeling. I could tear you apart or I could go heal them. Don't believe in fate, don't believe in ceilings. I just need a taste and my mind starts feeling. I don't pace myself, I grind on kneeling. Got lust for change, I just love the feeling. I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. And I ain't gonna give up. Got too little time, I'ma live up. Head down, push forward through the tough times. Cause anything worth doing is a tough climb. Cause I'ma live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I live life for the fight, yeah, I'm here to get it. I got drive, got sight, always have a vision. I go by at night, I be in my feelings. I'ma be fine, need time, and I'll soon be winning. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens.
What's going on, everybody? We're going to go ahead and get the show started in just a few moments. And we definitely going to talk about the new coaches that have come in. And we're definitely going to talk about them and what y'all think and everything. And I hope everybody had a very nice love day. Happy Valentine's Day. You know, hopefully you got some love with your special one and things like that. So hopefully, you know, you got to enjoy yourselves and everything. So we're definitely going to talk about that. So let me know what y'all thought your best, your best love memory was. And we'll definitely go into that a little bit. But also, we're going to talk Super Bowl recap. We're going to recap the Super Bowl a little bit to start off the show. And then, of course, I released my first mock draft. So we're going to definitely get into that. Make sure y'all share the show out and let everybody know where they can come on in for this Thursday, this special Thursday edition. Since I did not do it on Valentine's Day, we're going to definitely do it today. So we definitely going to turn up a little bit. But let's get this show started in less than 60 seconds.
Hope you can still go, hope you can still go. I never ran, sitting no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter.
Good evening, Titan Nation. How is everybody? Good evening, Titan Nation. How's everybody doing? Welcome in to a new edition of TNT Tonight. I'm your host, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth, and we're going to have a very fun episode for you on this evening. Hope everybody had a very nice Valentine's Day with their special one, or if you just had a Valentine's Day to yourself, hey, sometimes days off are, days to yourself are the best ones. That's sometimes the best way to do it is to give love to yourself. So that sometimes can be its own reward. So hope everybody had a very nice Valentine's Day. Everybody come on in. Definitely make sure y'all share the show out, whether you follow me on Facebook, on Twitter X, or Instagram. Remember, on Facebook, you got TNT Enforcers. On Instagram, Twitter X, at TNT Blue Enforcer. And on Instagram at Titans underscore in underscore truth. So definitely make sure y'all follow me there. Gotta definitely take care of some bills. Everybody, when you come on in, just go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that like button because that helps out the channel. That helps out me, and make sure that more content gets out to everybody else, so more Titan fans and more football fans can come on in, because we got a lot in store. That much I guarantee you. And if you're new to the channel, you haven't already subscribed, where the heck have you been? Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, and go ahead and ring that bell. If you are watching on Twitter, please go ahead and retweet the show to everybody, and then you come on over to YouTube and subscribe and hit the like button as well. Facebook, same thing. Share it out to everybody. Share it out to everybody. Hit the like button there as well. It will definitely help me and help the channel and everything right there. And then also, I got to get better with making sure everything goes on iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. But I'm going to get back to that too. So blame my brain, not my heart. And we're going to definitely get that back going too. I'm always, willing to be accountable for myself for things that I may not pull off. But we're definitely going to make sure some things get pulled off right here on this show. So definitely glad everybody is with me. I know I saw a couple people. I got my guy Ian Fuentes. What's up? I got my frat brother Blue 5B Payne in the building. We got the missus, Miss Tyson Truth, definitely here. Miss Sunshine Lavender, how you doing? Welcome into the show. So, very funny. Very, very funny indeed. What I deal with. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the show. The first thing I do want to get into is giving my thoughts on the Super Bowl. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. They did defeat the San Francisco 49ers 25-22 in overtime. And I thought it was a heck of a game. It was a very, very good game. And even, you know what? I'm going to put my red on. There we go. Put my red hat on. Tell you the truth, y'all can see it right there. Definitely going to try to get some merchandise back out too. So that's something I'm going to get back to work on. But I thought the game was very entertaining. Two very, very good football teams going at it, trying to win that Lombardi trophy, really trying to show that they're the class of the NFL. And I will say, my opinions are a little bit different than everybody else's. For most of the game, I thought the 49ers were going to win. Even though I picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win the game, the way the game was going, I thought, man, the 49ers might do it. They might just have the lucky number. And I mean, it would be a terrific story for Brock Purdy if he wins the Super Bowl, coming from being a guy that was picked last in a draft, Mr. Irrelevant, to winning a Super Bowl championship. So it was it was a very, very good ball game. It was a very good ball game. I thought both teams played extremely well. And then there was some time where it got a little rough. You saw the Kelce getting up in Andy Reid's face and things like that. The 49ers had a lot of injuries, just starting to pile up. Javon Greenlaw, their linebacker, is about to head out on the field. Is about to head out on the field for a defensive series and basically twist his knee, maybe towards ACL, just trying to go on the field. Deebo Samuel got hurt a little bit. And I think that's what kind of did the 49ers in. Some of their main players were getting injured. And so you had that. Okay, had to fix a little issue there, but we are still good and we're still kicking and everything. So I mean, it was definitely a tale of two halves. The first half, it looked like San Francisco was dominating, and then, the second half, the Chiefs kind of started to come alive, quite a bit, and everything. And then you had, you know, again, you had Kelsey up in Andy Reid's face. The 49er players ended up going down. Then you had where everything went to overtime, and with the new overtime rule, which honestly, I didn't even know there was a new rule. Um, I didn't even know there was a new rule. Um, I honestly thought that that the rules were that in that in the playoffs, I thought that, when in the playoffs, you have it where both teams have a chance to get a possession. Now, if the first team gets the ball, if the first team gets the ball and they score a touchdown, game is over. That's what I thought. Now, I figured, with the 49ers, they kicked the field goal. So I figured Kansas City gets the ball, they score a touchdown, game over, thank you for coming. Um, but I think this all goes back to the Josh Allen rule. Um, this goes back to the Josh Allen rule where they basically did it because of that game. Like, oh, it was such a great game and everything, and Buffalo never got a chance. And so now, I this is the first time I actually saw this new ruling was in the Super Bowl, because now it is, no matter what happens, both teams will get a possession. So even if the team who goes first, which in this case was San Francisco, if they score a touchdown, that does not mean the game is over. That means the game still continues. Kansas City has a chance, almost similar to college overtime. And so what had to happen was, if San Francisco scores a touchdown, the Chiefs will have to go down and score a touchdown to match that in order to keep the game going. If they didn't score a touchdown, game over, San Francisco wins. So, a lot of people, be like, well, why did Shanahan and the 49ers take the ball first? They were going to get a possession. They, clearly they did not know the rule, or they thought it was still the previous playoff rule. But hey, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know. I honestly thought it was the same old rule. Like, if San Francisco got the ball, they score, it's over. They score a touchdown, it's over. So, again, you got to know the rule. You have to know the rule. I have to hold myself accountable because I didn't know the rule either. So I didn't know there was a new rule either. So, hey, crap on my face too. Brandon says it's about time Shanahan gets called out. He lost 3 Super Bowls because of bad play calling. Fire Steve Wilks as a scapegoat. I thought it was a shame that Steve Wilks gets fired, even though the defense played a pretty good game. It's just the fact that Patrick Mahomes was better. Patrick Mahomes was better. And I thank Patrick Mahomes because I won a $50 bet. I think I put in like $100 worth of bets. Like, I did like 4 or 5 different bets, and they all came out to about $100. And that one bet, I got my $100 back. So pretty much I didn't lose anything. So I was like, hey, I'm good with that. And everything. So definitely congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. I thought it was a good game. Maybe for a while we won't hear about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift and all that crap. I'm not going to really get into that. But I am going to call out a particular group of people, because I was at a Super Bowl party. I went to 2 Super Bowl parties. And so I went to 2 Super Bowl parties. And what happened, I went to a party for my boss with my boss first, went and watched the first half. Pretty good catching up with him and one of my coworkers outside of work. It was cool. And so then I go to the second Super Bowl party with my frat brothers, and then we also my frat brothers are Phi Beta Sigma Blue Phi, by the way, and also had the ladies of Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. My wife's sorority was there as well, and so I'm going to that second party, trying to get there, around halftime. And so, of course, there was some that was like, I had a couple of friends of mine talk about, you not gonna see the Usher halftime show? Hey, Miss Margarita, how you doing? Hey, Miss Mims, how you doing? I know you got Bible study. Praise the Lord. Um, and so I had some people that was like, you not gonna watch the Usher halftime show? I'm like, I'm not going crazy to see it. I mean, if I catch some of it, cool. If I don't, cool. I'm trying to watch the game. That's what I'm there for. So I'm there to watch football. But I will admit I did go back and watch the Usher halftime show in its entirety. It was a pretty damn good show. Can't lie about that. It was a good halftime show. No lie told. But this is where I kind of want to talk bad about some people. Some of them are some of my frat brothers, and some of them were a lot of the Sigma Gamma Rhos that were there. So they show up for the first half of the game and for the Usher halftime show. Once the halftime show was over, the house cleared out. Like, well over 25, 30, well over 25 to 30 people, they headed for the door. They all got their coats and got whatever drink they had left and was gone. I'm like, I'm just getting there to see the last half of the halftime show so I can watch the second half of the game. And so I think, the missus was helping me get some food. And next thing I know, I see so many people heading towards the front door to leave. I'm like, where all of y'all going? There's still another half of football to play. They were like, I just came to see Usher. I just came for the halftime show. I'm like, see, y'all ain't no football fans. Y'all ain't no real fans. I'm like, I want to sit with the real fans. So there were about maybe 5 or 6 Sigma Gamma Rhos and quite a few brothers that stuck around, and they were either talking or actually were watching the game. And we were actually invested in the game. And so I was like, you know what? I'm sitting with the real ones. I ain't sitting with y'all fake wannabe football fans who just came for Usher. So I put a special shut your pie hole to all y'all Usher fans that just came for the halftime show. If you go to a Super Bowl party, you go to watch the game and the halftime show. So shut your pie hole to all y'all Usher fans. I love y'all, because some of y'all I know, and believe me, I'm going to cut this clip. I'm going to cut this clip, and I'm going to show it to some of my SG Row friends. I'm going to get y'all. Y'all better believe it. Y'all go see this, and I'm going to talk bad about y'all. Much love still, but I got to get you. Gonna leave after the halftime show. What kind of people are y'all? Daggum shame. Stevie said title, oh heck no. And B, I was wondering where you was at. Well, no, I know what was up. B, you covered. You covered. I know. I know what was going on. I got you. I forgot. We talked earlier that day. So you good. I was finna say, I'm like, B, where was you at? But I know what was going on. I got you. So, I thought it was a good Super Bowl. I won my bet. I ended up being happy at the end of the day. Stevie said, I know some stayed for Taylor. And that was a trip too, because some of my frat brothers were like, every time Taylor Swift showed up on TV, everybody was taking a shot. I wasn't finna do that. I'm not finna get stopped by the police. Because I had the over under at 2.5. I knew it was gonna be more than 3. It ended up being about 6 times they showed Taylor. Every time Travis Kelce made a play, they showed Taylor Swift. Every time. And it never ceased to amaze me how they just had to show Taylor Swift with Ice Spice. I'm like, give me a break, god darn it. So that's that on that. Also, the commercials. Some of them were good. Some of them were kind of weak. In my honest opinion, glad I got to see the Deadpool trailer. Wicked looks like it might be pretty decent, like a good movie. The commercials that kind of got me. I did like the T-Mobile commercial with all the stars trying to audition. I did like the Dunkin' Donuts commercial with Ben Affleck, Jennifer Lopez, and Matt Damon. I did like that one. I was laughing at the Robert F. Kennedy Jr. presidential campaign commercial. And then they had this commercial where somebody was washing somebody else's feet and it ended up being a Jesus commercial. I kept thinking, like, wow, I know Jesus got, riches and all, but I'm like, $7 million riches? I'm like, praise to you, Jesus. Praise to you. Praise to you, sir. Thank you. Thank you. So I thought some of those commercials were actually pretty good. The Nerds commercial, I really couldn't understand. I was kind of flipping out on the Nerds commercial when it came to that. So those were a couple of commercials I thought was good. A Kia commercial, I think, was a good one as well. Herm said, I only have interest in football. I couldn't care less about anything outside of that. Exactly. 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 So I thought that was a very, very good game. But also with the Super Bowl, I do need to touch on my thoughts and prayers. Definitely go to everybody in Kansas City. Everybody in Kansas City. Uh, State Farm. I didn't really like the State Farm commercial, DO9. I really didn't. I thought Arnold Schwarzenegger kind of sucked at it, to be honest. I just, it didn't do it for me. Parker D, what's up? But again, I want to touch on a little bit on the tragedy that did happen in Kansas City yesterday. Um, just a horrible, horrific scene of what happened. Super Bowl parade was going on, and unfortunately, shooting broke out at the parade. One woman was unfortunately killed in the whole thing. She was a DJ, a mom, and 22 others were shot. 9 of them were children. And everybody was running. Obviously, the I think 3 suspects are in custody. A couple of fans were able to chase down one of the suspects and hold him down until police got there. So again, um, deeply saddened by what happened. My thoughts and my prayers definitely from the Titans of Truth family. Definitely to everybody in Kansas City. To all the fans there in Kansas City. To especially those 23 families that will be forever affected by this. And I know thousands, maybe thousands of others will be affected as well who were there and that happened. You never thought you would go, excuse me, to a Super Bowl parade, and then you have to realize you would then later on have to bury a family member. I mean, nobody thinks that. Um, This is a messed up world we're living in, y'all. And I know um, the sports that we talk about and things like that take is an escape, and it's something to kind of keep us lively, keep us happy. But this type of tragedy it's real. Um, take it from somebody me who is living in Memphis now. I've been back here, for almost 5 years now, and all the crime that's happened here. We have a lot of that here too. I mean, a lot of break-ins, a lot of murders and all of that stuff. It's sad and things like that. And I tell people I'm not the biggest fan of still living here. I mean, I love Memphis. It's my hometown. It's where I was born and raised. But I'm sick of the crime. I'm sick of the violence. So everybody out there that's at the sound of my voice, I understand. You know, a lot of us have weapons, have guns in our homes or in our cars to try to protect ourselves and keep ourselves and our loved ones safe, from criminals and those who mean to do harm. But at the same time, to those bad people out there that doing all of this, put the freaking guns down. We're getting sick and tired of all the killing. What happened in Atlanta also, outside of a high school, I believe four people were shot there too. Stop the killing. Stop the violence. We don't need this. We are trying to live life and everything, and unfortunately, with all the access to weapons, it's only going to get worse. I hate that, but it is what it is. And we have to find a way to curb this violence. I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Stop the violence. Put the guns down. You don't need guns to resolve no issue. Only time you need to pick up a gun is if somebody breaks into your house, or if somebody's about to pull a gun on you or threatens your loved ones, and you defend their lives and your life. That's the time. Other than that, to just do some senseless crime, try to take somebody's car, rob a bank, rob a store, it's not necessary. So stop it. Put the guns down. And that's all I got to say about that, because we're not going to go political. That's not what this type of show is. But all this violence that's happening all over the country and all over the world, it sickens me. It really does. And again, definitely prayers up to everybody in Kansas City, everybody in Atlanta. Here, we've had too many mass shootings all over this country just this year. 49 mass shootings, almost 50, and we're not even 2 months in. We're only 2 months in, and it's only going to get worse. So, but again, my prayers and all of our prayers go to those in Kansas City, that we can all heal together. But let's try to move on, and we keep going, and let's talk some Titan news that did happen. And yesterday there was a press conference, and Brian Callahan comes out and introduces defensive coordinator Denard Wilson and also offensive coordinator Nick Holtz to the media and to everybody. And I thought um, I thought the press conference was actually pretty good. Um, and everything. And so I thought it was pretty good. And I did like a lot of what Denard Wilson said. Nick Holtz, I'm like, I'm still a little iffy on that and everything. So definitely do have a little bit of a clip and everything for you. So defensive coordinator. Here is defensive coordinator Denard Wilson on what he is expecting.
opportunity, and I'm excited to be here. Good question. We know it's so hard to kind of envision building off of from there as a start. Well, right now we're just going through the process. We just got here 2 days ago. Really, the staff's coming together, so we're evaluating the players, evaluating the talent that's here. About football, it's not about scheme. It's about the players, right? So we have to figure out what they do well, and we'll put the scheme around them, right, to allow their talents to flourish. I can tell you this about the scheme, all right, and I learned this a long time ago. General George Patton said this: nobody ever defended anything successful. You're going to attack and attack some more. We're going to be attacking defense. We're going to be violent in our approach. All right, we're going to be smart. We're going to be intelligent. We're never going to compromise for competing. And that's the style of brand of football that we're going to play around here.
And so right there, that is defensive coordinator. Denard Wilson basically saying we're gonna be, a violent attacking defense. He said, we're gonna be multiple in schemes. Definitely, getting multiple up front. He talked glowingly about Big Jeff as far as he said he could wreck a game all by himself, and that I like the fact of building the scheme around the players. Ain't that something? Have we ever heard that before from the Titans? I don't think so. So, you know, I definitely do like what I definitely did like a lot of what Denard Wilson said as far as being violent, attacking, smart, intelligent, and things like that. And so I think a lot of this whole playing like 7-10 yards way off the ball, I think those days are about to be over. I know that can happen sometimes, especially if it's like a third and very long situation or a prevent situation. I know that can be the case, but violent attacking, I like that. I also liked where he said, with corners, he wants corners that can play both inside and outside, and everything. So they wanted to be versatile, which I can get that part. You don't want just a corner that is specifically just an outside guy. You want a guy that can also play inside so they can be interchangeable. You never know where people are coming from. So I definitely do like that. Parker D says strength and conditioning coach left to go to the Giants. I did see that. AZ Mix said, I like what the coaches had to say. Can't wait for the season to start. I did see the 49ers. Yes, they did fire Steve Wilks. Didn't like that. Rocky Boy tightened up. Parker D, I guess, gives it a C. Parker D said least favorite coach was the quarterback's coach. So Bo Hargady is his least favorite coach and everything. But I liked what Denard Wilson had to say. And I'm like, man, I think our defense in about a year is going to be nasty. Nasty. Now, the question is, who is he going to groom behind him? Because eventually he's going to become a head coach. And we're going to get a compensatory pick for it. But I think he could become a head coach. If the defense is really that good, he may be a head coach soon. So I could definitely see that. Parker D says A+. Now, I'm thinking you were talking about Nick Holtz, mainly Parker D. But, yeah, A++ for Denard Wilson. But here is Nick Holtz. And this is really one of my first times hearing him talk. So here's a little bit of what he had to say.
Toughness. We're going to stand for all those things, but we really want to see guys playing with great speed, detail, and execution, right? And those are the three things that kind of go right off the bat right there. And you can see those guys taking what we learned from the classroom, taking out the field, and really growing in that regard.
What's your approach to your attack on offense? Like, are you more go with the flow, take what they give you back, or you are like, this is what we're going to do this week, and this is what we're going to do?
I think there's more probably a question for him as the play caller, but I think we see it systematically of we want to run good plays into good looks, right? We kind of want to have the chalk glass where we're not going, oh, they made us hot in the air, we didn't do this. So that's kind of, but I guess I kind of defer to him too, how he wants to see it build the offense that way. Yeah.
Now, I'm not gonna play much more of that. Nick Foles is an anomaly for me. He's kind of an enigma. Because I think obviously he got hired mainly because he's buddies with Brian Callahan. And I think that's the only reason he got hired. Now, he did say when it came between Trevor Lawrence and Will Levis, basically he liked Will Levis's ability to win big games. We're going to definitely see about that. Can Will Levis win those big games and things like that? We're definitely going to find out. XD Gamer back from the dead. Man, of course, he has been gone. He's been in exile since we eliminated the Jaguars from the playoffs. And so I know you're not very happy we got a new coach. You were hoping Vrabel stuck around. So I know Jags fans are a little nervous right now. But at the end, I am actually excited about this offseason. We got a little over 2 weeks. We got about right at 2 weeks to the combine. So I'm definitely excited about that. With the combine coming up, definitely looking forward to that, free agency and everything. And so I'm definitely up on that. Derek says, I'm watching from work, really can't chat right now. Hey, I appreciate you even chatting in, tuning in. So I definitely appreciate that. But I'm actually excited about seeing what this coaching staff can do and what players do they bring in. Of course, we know it is expected the Bengals are going to use the franchise tag on T. Higgins. Tyler Boyd could definitely be an option. I think he's going to be an option for the Titans. He's a guy that I think could be a number 3, could turn into a number 2, if either Burks doesn't work out or if Burks does work out, him and Boyd and Burks or Boyd and D-Hop. Now, of course, if you get another receiver like an Adonai Mitchell or Troy Franklin or a Malik Neighbors or even a Marvin Harrison Jr., because, I've heard some debates. Some people think that Neighbors is better than Marvin Harrison Jr. And if Marvin Harrison Jr., I will say this. If Marvin Harrison Jr. is sitting there at 7, and I highly doubt he's going to be, I don't give a damn what offensive lineman is on the board at 7. You take Maserati Marv 1,000 times out of 100. I'm sorry. I am going to go Marvin Harrison Jr. all the way if he's there. But there's about a good 99.999999992% he's going to be there at 7. Now, I did see somebody say they saw the comment about Joseph was talking about the Bowers wanted to be a Tennessee Titan and everything. And I know I saw some other, I saw some on Twitter saying he don't want to be no Titan, he just want to get paid and all of that. Every player wants to get paid, no doubt about that. And things like that. So everybody want to get paid, who don't, and everything. Rocky Boy said, XD came out from under a rock. Parker D said, will there be any free agency shows? Absolutely. Absolutely. I may, be away here and there, and everything as I study for the draft. Like maybe next week I may not have a show, but I may do something small. But like when the combine begins, I'll do that. When free agency begins, I'm definitely going to do that. Draft, absolutely. So there's definitely more content to come. Parker D said, let Chris Boyd walk, let Tyler Boyd be the 3 if that happens. I'll be okay with that. D09 said we need at least 2 receivers. What do you think about Bowers? I wouldn't draft him at 7. I would not draft him at 7. If Joe Alt, Malik Neighbors, Olu Fashanu, and Rome Odunze are all off the board, and Marvin Harrison as well, then maybe I consider Brock Bowers. And that is the only time I would consider Brock Bowers. Now, of course, there are also rumors that Atlanta, is really thinking quarterback. Of course, I've been hearing some stuff with with Jaden Daniels and Jaden Daniels, Drake May, and Caleb Williams being at the top. And then, there's definitely a little bit of hype around J.J. McCarthy, and there could be a little bit of hype around Bo Nix. Maybe we see what he does at the combine. If that happens, if you can get 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, that helps us out tremendously. Because you could then trade down, still get the players you want, and pick up some capital, especially if it's for a quarterback. Dio9 says he won't be there, and I agree with that totally. I don't think he's going to be there either. But I'm just saying, if he is, all bets are off. I'm taking Marvelous Marvin. I'm taking Marvelous Marvin Harrison 1,000 times out of 100, and there is absolutely no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Brandon said we need best available. Hell, wide receiver or tackle. We need to get young, athletic, and faster. Agreed. Dio9 says, I think we got to go tackle. I'm not dealing with O-line problem no more. And we do have to fix the O-line. That much is a fact. And I'm going to show y'all something in one of my mock drafts that I did. So we're definitely going to talk about that in just a moment. But, again, I'm excited about where this could definitely go. Where it comes to that. So definitely looking forward to that. But now it's time to reveal my very first mock draft. And so, this mock draft, I've kind of been working on it. Tried to do it without trades, but there were a trade or two that I just couldn't resist. So I had to kind of do it. And here it is. My first mock draft that I have put out. And so my first mock draft, and this is courtesy of Pro Football Network. So this is my first mock draft that I did. I went with Malik Nabers at 7, and here's why I went with Nabers. Number one, Joe Alt was already off the board. Joe Alt was already off the board at this time, so I was like, I couldn't pass on Malik Nabers. I could not pass on this guy. Joe Alt was off the board, and I think I told y'all this last week. I said, if Alt is off the board, I'm picking Nabers. If Nabers is off the board and Alt's there, I'm picking Alt. Alt was already off the board. So that is why I went with Malik Nabers at 7. And I just think that athleticism cannot be denied. Him and DeAndre Hopkins together would be explosive. And then you can kind of bring Treylon Burks along as a 3. And then even if you get Tyler Boyd, that is 4 quality receivers right there. And your receiver room looks good. In round 2, I traded back. I believe I traded back with the Atlanta Falcons. I want to say I traded back with the Atlanta Falcons from 38 to 42. And I ended up picking up an extra 3rd round pick out of that. So I couldn't deny Jackson Powers Johnson. So, yes, I still need a left tackle, but I have a center who can start day 1 in the middle of my offensive line. So that is why I went with Jackson Powers Johnson. I could have went another receiver. Yeah, there were guys like Patrick Paul. I believe that was available, but Jackson Powers Johnson to me was the better option. He was the best player available. I had to kind of go with him. In the 3rd round, that extra 3rd round pick that I got, Okay. Now, that extra third round pick that I got, I went ahead and went with Roger Rosengarten, tackle from Washington. I was definitely impressed with him at the Senior Bowl. He's a guy that I think he'll mainly play right tackle, but he's a guy that can play right or left tackle for you. I thought he performed pretty well at the Senior Bowl, honestly. You could put him at right, or you could put him at left, or if you put him at right, maybe Dylan Raiden slides to left if I can't get nobody else. Or anything like that. So I definitely liked Roger Rosengarten. And of course, with Bill Callahan as the offensive line coach, I just think that would be pretty cool. That could work. In the fourth round, I went back. I got Brendan Rice, the receiver out of USC, Jerry Rice's son. So I double dipped that receiver. May not be the fastest guy, but I just think he has sure hands, and I don't think the apple falls very far from the tree. At 183, I picked Blake Watson. Blake Watson, running back from right here at Memphis. Seen this kid play. He can catch out of the backfield. He can run between the tackles. He could be a legit weapon. Him and Tajay Spears together would be a nice combination. I really do think that. I think they would be a very nice combination together. In the sixth round, I think that was round 5. Round 6, I went with Gabe Hall, defensive tackle out of Baylor. I was very impressed with him at the Senior Bowl. He was winning one-on-one matchups in the beginning. Now, there were some times in the later days of Senior Bowl where it did seem like the offensive lineman did kind of catch on to him a little bit, but I still think he would be a very nice depth piece along the defensive line. At 224, I picked Mark Perry, safety from TCU. I know we need safety depth. And then my last pick at 239, I went with Kingsley Egukan, a center out of Florida. And see, the thing about him is you could probably play him as a backup center to Jackson Powers Johnson, or you could move him to guard as well. So he could definitely be a good depth piece on the offensive line as well. And I did pick up a 2025 third round pick as well. So that is my first official mock draft. I did do another mock draft, which I will put out later on, but I will tell you in this second mock draft, I was able to get Joe Alt. I was able to get Joe Alt in my second mock draft, and this is off of the mock draft database. So in that draft, I was able to get Joe Alt. I traded back with Atlanta and picked up a third round pick. So one spot, got an extra third rounder, still got Joe Alt in the first round, got Jackson Powers Johnson in the second round, Malachi Corley in the third round. And then, of course, I got Christian Haynes with an extra pick that I got at guard. I got Rosengarten again. Luke McCaffrey was one of my picks as well. Andrew Phillips, the corner out of Kentucky, who I did like. Rasheen Ali, a running back I liked. I got him in the 7th round. I went ahead and got a kicker, Harrison Melvis from Missouri, who I believe kicked I want to say a 63-yard field goal. I want to say that beat LSU. I want to say it was either 63 or 65-yarder that beat LSU. I'm finna see. Okay, it was a 61-yarder against Kansas State. Never mind. He hit a game-winning 61-yarder to beat Kansas State. So that was my other mock draft off of mock draft database. I'll be putting that up as well. Let me get some of y'all comments and we're going to get ready to wrap this show up. Parkedy says, Truth, you are a GM. Would you slide back in the draft in the first round for a lot of draft capital or stay at 7? It depends on It depends, one, on who's on the board. If Joe Alt and Malik Neighbors are both off the board, I would definitely consider a trade back. Because I think you could trade back to about 10 or 11 and still get Olu Fashanu. And maybe a Rome Odunzie as well. I think you can still get one of those two even if you trade back, especially if quarterbacks are going to be in the top half. If you can get about 4 or 5 quarterbacks in the top 10, I would consider trading back and going with a Rome Odunzie or Olu Fashanu. Absolutely. If we go receiver, it would push more OT closer to the second round. I mean, I think you would definitely have to go offensive tackle in round 2, without a doubt. I think wide receiver and tackle are your first 2 picks. Whether it's at 7 or 38, those are your first 2 picks. Luman says Frank Gore Jr. must be an option in my is a must-have in my opinion. I have to check out Frank Gore Jr. and see how he is. I haven't really seen much film on him, but I'll definitely check it out. Free agent offensive tackles. Yeah, there is one in New England that might be a guy too, so we'll definitely have to see about that. D09 says, wouldn't be mad at wide receiver first, but need to make sure the O-line is taken care of. I agree. Luman says Malachi Corley. I mean, I think a lot of people think that. Parkedy says, I want the Titans to draft Braswell from Alabama. He'll be a gem. I'm sorry, edge rusher or linebacker is a little bit far down the list right now. Right now, wide receiver, offensive tackle, wide receiver, tackle, corner are my top 3 needs right now. I think we trade back in round 2. I wouldn't mind that. You know, pick up an extra 3rd round pick, or you get with the Eagles maybe who have 2 second round picks as well. So maybe you could do that. Maybe see if you can pick up a couple of seconds or pick up another 3rd and things like that. I could definitely see that in the 2nd round, trade back. I could definitely get on board with that. I'm trying to think of anything else I could have missed before I get out of here. Again, Valentine's Day I think was good. I made sure I got my significant other got her an edible arrangement, free delivery. Definitely made sure I did that. Let me know in the comment section, what did y'all do for y'all significant other? Make sure it was good. I I worked for a news station. We did a story from a flower shop, and they were up at like 4 or 5 in the morning getting flower orders ready. And I laughed at some of the cards that our reporter she put out. Like, there was some saying, hey, your tail is mine when I get home. Or, hey, we gonna be in for a long night because I'm gonna do it to you. Things like that. I was like, oh. I'm like, man, if you spending that much on flowers having to deliver on Valentine's Day, oh, you better believe you better have you some fun that night. You better believe that. I mean, hey, cheers for me. Hey, I'm like, I'm like, hey, do it big. So, let's see. Are there any inside linebackers in the draft or free agency that could upgrade the position? I would not mind Patrick Queen. Patrick Queen coming over with Denard Robinson, who has said, he's going to be missed. He commented and said he liked Denard Wilson. So maybe Patrick Queen, if he doesn't get franchise tag, could be an option. Lock the Gates podcast, and I saw you on my Titans and Truth channel on Instagram, so I did follow you. Appreciate the follow. Malik Neighbors is 7 is dead on. Over Chicken, what's going on with you? You're kind of late, but I'm glad you're here. So, I mean, there's a couple of linebackers out there that you can look at. I think Azeez should get brought back, but you need a running mate beside him. You really need a running mate beside him. And I don't think Gibby or Monty Rice would have done the job. So, everybody, I think that's going to just about do it for TNT tonight. Definitely do appreciate everybody tuning in. Over Chicken, just go make sure you watch the replay. So just go back to the beginning and watch it. And next week, I'll reveal another mock draft. I think we'll just do another mock draft next week and see if it stays the same or we make some changes and things like that. And then, of course, once the combine begins, that is when I'm going to start doing my draft homework. So I'm already going to kind of get started with that, but we're definitely going to go into, my top 5 at positions of need and my top 5 dark horses as well. So definitely stay tuned for that, and definitely going to have a lot more coming around the bend. So thank y'all for tuning in to TNT tonight. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer, a.k.a. The Truth. Again, if you have not liked this channel, go ahead and put a like. Smash that like button for me. And if you're like Lock the Gates, new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe to the channel too. And hit that bell so that way you are notified when everything is live. And also get on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple, and Google Podcasts. Make sure y'all get there as well. I'm your man, Chris, a.k.a. Blue Enforcer. Again, thank y'all for tuning in to the show. And everybody, make sure y'all have a very good rest of your week. And I will be seeing y'all next week. And as normal, what do I always say? We tighten up, because that's all we know how to do. Good night, y'all.